Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I mean, seriously, it doesn't work without you guys, so I appreciate you all being here. So here we are. It is Saturday night. We've got games going on right now. The 49ers are up 7-3. I don't know if you have Amazon Prime and watching it. I got to tell you that the coverage, the picture on there doesn't look normal. It looks kind of, it doesn't look as good a quality as it normally does. But hey, you know, I guess that's, you know, what they're getting. This is the first time Amazon Prime has been streaming a game, and it seems like a lot of people are kind of pissed off about that. They're kind of like, you know, I want to see the 49ers versus the Cardinals, you know, and I'm not trying to get, you know, a subscription to Amazon Prime and stuff, but I hate to tell you that that may be the wave of the future. But anyway, that's not why I came on here tonight. Tonight I came on here because I want to talk about our game tomorrow against the Eagles. Now, you know, I already told you that Philly 500, you know, sent me a text message that, you know, Merry Christmas, and you might as well congratulate me already. They are literally already overconfident about this game. But the Eagles, their defense is hurting. In fact, I'm going to say that I think we're going to get our running game really going tomorrow. We already knew Fletcher Cox has been not able to practice. He's not going. But now Derek Barnett is out as well. And the Eagles also placed Josh Sweat and Kevon Seymour on IR. That defense is not going to be the same. And here's where, actually, I hadn't thought about this, but this is probably a great true statement. Zeke Elliott says he's feeling a lot better than he did last week where he was out, missing his first game. And Zeke says he feels great right now in comparison and wants to play. And I kept saying in my mind, just shut it down. Shut him down. Forget about it. We don't need to put him out there. But here's the thing. Right now, Zeke Elliott has 832 yards. 832 yards. He's sitting there thinking, probably in a season that's been as bad as it's been, I want to at least get to that 1,000-yard threshold. Because when you look back on the career and things, you want to be able to say, you know, I was every year I was a 1,000-yard rusher. And that's one of those things that's a personal record. It doesn't mean much as far as the team goes. But, you know, in ways like Alvin Kamara, Alvin Kamara getting that record last night of 6 TDs, quite frankly, does nothing for the team. The team had already blown him out. But it's nice to be able to look back through your career and say, hey, I'm one of 2 guys that only, you know, had 6 rushing touchdowns in a game. And in the same sense, I'm sure Zeke Elliott would like to go through his whole career and say, every year that I got at least 1,000 yards. So I'm looking at this and thinking that, you know, as opposed to having Fletcher Cox out there and Derek Barnett and some of these guys, that this may be the game that you may be able to feast on running the football. And that's why Zeke Elliott is like, you know, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. And that's going to help our Cowboys. If we can really run the ball well, you know, we already know we got Tony Pollard who's like lightning. If we can get some thunder with Zeke Elliott, we can slow down the pace of the game and the clock and hopefully be able to keep their defense on the field and wear them out and keep Hurts as well as Miles Sanders on the sideline. And I think that may be the key for our team right there, keep those guys on the sideline. But I pointed out last night, the bottom line on this game, more than anything else, is we need our defenders, like I was talking about, gap integrity. You must keep your lanes, what your assignment is. And this has been the killer. You know, as I watch this defense over and over again, you know, a lot of people don't watch maybe the subtleties of the game. You know, you're more apt to see the ball snaps to the quarterback and you're just following where the ball's going, you know, that pass down the field and stuff. You're not looking at the individual battles on the offensive and defensive line. That's where all the real action is. And when you're watching that quarterback get the ball, watch what the linemen are doing. See if they are keeping that pressure even, or if they're doing a twist stunt, you know, where one guy's going inside hard, the other guy's coming around the outside, one guy's trying to take up 2 people and get a free run towards the quarterback. See if they keep that gap integrity. And by that means that across the board, that there's no open lane for the running back or the quarterback to be able to step up. And that will be key in this game. Now, we also know that Leighton Vander Esch won't be playing tomorrow as well, dealing with his leg injury and things. And this is Sean Lee. Sean Lee's probably last game at AT&T Stadium. So you may look at this team digging. I'm hoping, this is what I'm hoping. You may looking at the Cowboys digging deep and pulling out some pride, which may give them an advantage in this game. Now, I know we've given up 433 points. So the Eagles are sitting there saying, this is easy money. This team has given up 433 points. This is, right now, with 2 games left to go, the second worst amount of points we've ever given up in a whole season. So unless we don't give up more than 3 points, 3 points between this game and the next game, this will be the worst team giving up points on our defense. So I'm looking forward to these guys having a bit of pride. Now, I'm going to be 100% real with you. The only chance that we have of making playoffs is for the Washington football team to literally fall flat on their face. Twice, maybe even 3 times, because I just don't see Carolina getting the upset on this one. I just don't. Anything can happen. I'm not going to say it won't, but I'm not going to bank on it and say, yeah, Washington's going to lose. And if they win that game, then we're out of it. But, and maybe in some regards, that's the better thing, that we'll have that higher draft pick. Making the playoffs means you're picking 19th. And at this point, that's not exactly very helpful for our team as far as the going forward. But I think I've said this before, and people, feel free to disagree with me. I feel like having some momentum to finish the season is going to be important, to feel good and figure, okay, we're doing some things that are right. Because I think the key more than anything else is, when I look at that Washington football game, when we did that fake punt, you could see the body language of the players literally just give up and say, we're done. There's no hope here. This sucks. The coaches made a bad call that lost us the game, and ain't no point in me trying to bust the hump now. That feeling that you have right there can be the same feeling that's going through in the off season. People can look and say, you know, the coaches we have are freaking idiots. They don't know shit. We can't win with them. And that will translate into next year. And you don't want to have that feeling. But after the season, it started off terribly. And I want to say Mike McCarthy started out 8-8 his first year with Green Bay, and then he went 13-3 the next year. You want to have some momentum in there. If we go through, you know, and end up with a 4-game win streak, hypothetically, you know, we got 2 games already. We get a 3rd game, and we're, you know, you're feeling good. It's like, hey, wait a minute. We played pretty good down there. We can feel good about this off season. Maybe the coaches aren't so bad after all. Maybe, you know, it's a matter of us getting together, putting the full effort in, and believing in what they're teaching, and we can do this thing. And I think that's more important than going through and just looking miserable. You know, this is a true story here. You know, sometimes I start talking and it reminds me of things that have happened in my past. Me and my ex-wife, we broke up when Michael was 5 and Michaela was 3. I had had a flesh-eating bacteria in my knee. I had lost a job that I really liked. Wasn't able to work because I spent 6 months learning how to walk again. I didn't have health insurance. Bills piled up, and basically I was bankrupt. My wife and I broke up. I was left with the kids, still recovering from a knee injury, having to raise them. And it was hard because I didn't have a job. or I was doing odd jobs. I was actually at the beginning of starting my own business. You know, I'd build a dresser for somebody, or I'd do a little work here and there, because I hadn't really done that for people before. It was just kind of like something I did more for fun. I knew I had the skills, but right now I'm desperate that I need to do some work just to try and make it. And it was hard because I didn't make enough money to pay my bills. And it didn't matter how hard I tried, that it's like, why bother? Shit's not gonna work. You can't make enough to get out of this hole. So why try? Fortunate for me, because I was at my wit's end, rock bottom, that my daughter must have sensed that I needed some support, because her, probably about 4 or 5 years old, came up to me and gave me the biggest hug and said, "Dad, you're the best dad in the whole world." And I realized at that moment that I had to find a way to make it, because I had 2 other people that I had to take care of. Had I not had them, I'm not sure that I'd be where I am right now. But the reason I tell you that story is you get to a point where you look at it and say, it doesn't matter how hard I work, that I'm not getting out of this mess. And you could take a team with coaches and you look and say, it doesn't matter what we do, because this jackass over here doesn't know what he's teaching. He doesn't know what plays to call, and there's no chance and no hope. And if that's how you feel, that's going to be reflected on your play on the field. And that's why I say you need to have some hope, because if you go through and you beat the Eagles, you beat the Giants, and maybe you fall short of the playoffs because Washington only has to win 1 game, you say, damn, had we played better in that Washington game, we could have been right there. We had opportunities. We are not dead yet. We can do this stuff. You go through and say, man, next year, you know what? If we just turn this stuff on, we got this. And that's why I look at this and say, Cowboys got a chance tomorrow. They got a chance. And we'll see what happens from that standpoint. So, I'm going to go back in here. It's cold out. Michael's doing some live streaming. I'm not sure if it's on Twitch or whatever, but I'm going to go check him out. And I got some painting I got to do, try and make happy wife, happy life. Yeah, good luck with that one, right? I'll see you guys later.